all the many beautiful parts of France, there is none more beloved by travelers than that nestling along the sunny shores of the Ligurian Sea. To the world it is known as the Riviera, but because of the coloring of the Maritime Alps and the blueness of the tranquil Mediterranean, the French call it the Côte d'Azur, the blue or azure coast.
The Motor Spirit is here in Monaco for the Grand Prix de Monaco Historique. If you come to the Grand Prix, it's a happening. If you come to the Historics, it's a holiday. They've been racing here since 1929, and for the most part, the circuit has remained the same. Except in the beginning, this was the Gasworks hairpin. And today's Fairmont hairpin was called the station hairpin because of the train station. In the 1970s, they took out this straight and put in the swimming pool, which changed things. But still here is Tabac, or the tobacco store. They don't sell cigarettes anymore, it's caps and shirts. Despite the new races on the schedule and the newfound and recurring criticisms, Monaco is still the most prestigious race on the Formula One calendar. Lately, Formula One has become increasingly popular in the United States. Soon, there will be 3 U.S. races, but no American drivers on the grid. Most enthusiasts would know of American drivers from the late 50s and 60s like Phil Hill, Dan Gurney, Richie Ginther, and that guy from Kansas with the glasses, Maston Gregory. Few would know the first American to ever drive in Formula One. 1950 was the first year of today's World Drivers' Championship, and he drove his first race here at Monaco in 1950, the second race of the season. Harry O'Reilly Schell. Harry Schell was the son of Lucy O'Reilly Schell, a multi-million-dollar heiress whose father made a fortune in Pennsylvania. Before the war, she and her husband, an American who had lived in Geneva, had a credible record competing in the Monte Carlo Rally. Lucy O'Reilly Schell was hooked on racing. She had the wealth and confidence to create her Écurie Blue racing team. In the 1930s, she commissioned Delahaye to build her a Grand Prix car, the Delahaye 145. It would be here on Rue du Banquet in Paris that Lucy O'Reilly Schell would come to the offices of Delahaye to commission a Grand Prix car. It would become the Delahaye 145. 4 were made. René Dreyfus was the principal driver, and he won the million-franc sweepstakes that the French government at the time was offering. And he won the 1938 Pau Grand Prix. Pau is to the south of France, to the irritation of the Third Reich, who at the time was using motorsports as a propaganda tool. Today, a Delahaye 145, number 1 of the 4, is at the Mullen Automobile Museum in Oxnard, California. In 1940, given the threat of war, she and her sons, Harry and Philippe, returned to the United States along with 2 Maseratis they entered in the 1940 Indy 500. Her team management included Luigi Canetti. Not hers, but Maserati won the 1939 and 1940 Indy 500.
After the war, they went back to Europe and Harry began to race. He earned respect and credibility within the racing fraternity, turning into consistent and competitive results. He raced at the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 times, winning his class with co-driver Maurice Trintignant in 1953. He was co-driver to Stirling Moss in 57, and he partnered up with Moss in 57 to finish second in the 12 Hours of Sebring. His Grand Prix career included racing for Ferrari, Vanwall, and Maserati factory teams. As a privateer, he fielded his own Maserati, much like this one here, as well as drove for the gentleman privateer, Joe Bagnier. His companions were beautiful women, and he enjoyed having a good time. His friends included the other Playboy racer, Alphonse de Portiago.
Harry Schell opened up a restaurant bar here in the plush 16th district, right across the street, I think right there where they're doing that construction. 65 Avenue Inya, or 65 Avenue Inya. It was to help finance his racing efforts. I don't know if the restaurant business and racing are exactly get-rich-quick schemes, but he may have been in a hurry. Allegedly, he charged more for a bottle of Bollinger champagne than the Hotel Crillon over here in Place de la Concorde.
Harry Schell has a full and credible racing record from 1950 to 1960, when he had a fatal accident during practice at Silverstone. In recent times, there have been various Americans trying to make the Formula One starting grid. Connor Daly, son of driver Derek Daly, had promising Formula 2 successes, but stalled without sponsorship money. Scott Speed came to the big show for a few seasons, and Alexander Rossi was given a go but is finding a career in IndyCars. There were high expectations and pressure when Michael Andretti came to McLaren in 1993, but success eluded him for various reasons. Colin Herta, son of another driver, has been talked about for Formula One, ironically for Andretti and McLaren. Getting to Formula One is like passing through a sieve with very tiny holes. Skill is a given. Talent is a blessing. Total commitment is not enough. Having the manner and multilingual skills to manage the press pen doesn't hurt. If you can, as an enthusiast, coming to Monaco is a must. At the Grand Prix, the driver is the star. At the Historics, the car is now the star, with its design, technology, and history. A time flashback to appreciate the future.